Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Skytyam Sikaram Chevanalotanam Devim Sarvatim Vyasam Satyam Buddhirayat Nastavaitya Bhatesu Nityam Bhavatasivya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhakti Bhavanaistike. We are continuing reading from the 59th chapter of the 10th canto that we will hear today about the disappearance of Bhamasur. Text 2020 till 26 is on the board. So I will first recite 22, 23, 25. And then we recite together 26 on the board. Sakundalam Charukirita Bhushanam Baba Pritipyam Patitam Samachvalam Aheti Sativya Isaya Suresvaram Malyen Mukundam Vikiranta Idire. Fallen on the ground, Bhaumasur's head shone brilliantly, decorated as it was with earrings and an attractive helmet. As cries of Alas, alas, and well done arose the sages and the principal demigods worshipped Lord Mukunda by showering him with flower garlands. Text 23. Tata Sabo Krishnamupetya Kundale Pratapta Jambunada Navaspare Sabai Chayantya Panamalya Yaspayat Pasheta Shamchatra Atonam. The goddess of earth then approached Lord Krishna and presented him with Aditi's earrings, which were made of glowing gold inlaid with shining jewels. She also gave him a Vajjayanti flower garland, Varuna's umbrella, and the peak of the Mandara mountain. Stolen property was returned. Yeah, now the prayers. 24. Astasit ata vishvesham devi deva vacharchitam panchale panatarajan bhakti mayadiya. O king, after bowing down to him and then standing with joined palms, the goddess, her mind filled with devotion, began to praise the Lord of the universe, whom the best of demigods worship. 25. Bhumir Uvacha Namaste Devideva Sasankhya Shakra Gadadhara Bhakteshopatarupaya Paramatmatam Namstute. Goddess Bhumi said, obeisance unto you, O Lord of the chief demigods, O holder of the console, disc, and club. O Supreme Soul within the heart, you assume various forms to fulfill your devotees' desires, obeisance unto you. 26. 26 is on the board, we will recite together. This is also the same prayer Queen Kunti offered to Lord Krishna in 1.8.22, and a lot of Pankaja notice. So please repeat. Nama Pankaja Nabaya. Nama Pankaja Malini. Nama Pankaja Netraya. Namaste Pankajankaye. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Pankajanamamine. Nama Pankajanetraya. Namaste Pankajankaye. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Nama Pankajanamamine. Nama Pankajanetraya. Namaste Pankajankaye. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Nama Pankajanamamine. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Namaste Pankajankaye. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Namaste Pankajankaye. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Nama Pankajanamine. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Namaste Pankajangkaye. Nama Pankajanaavaya. Nama Pankajamaline. Nama Pankajanaavaya. Namaste Pankajangkaye. Nama Pankajanaavaya. Nama Pankajamaline. Nama Pankajanaavaya. Namaste Pankajangkaye. But for a translation, Namaha. All respectful obeisances. Pankajanaabhaya. Unto the Lord, who has a specific depression resembling a lotus flower in the center of its abdomen. Namaha. Obeisances. Pankajamaline. One who is always decorated with a garland of lotus flower. Namaha. Obeisances. Pankajanatraya. One whose glance is as cooling as a lotus flower. Namate. Respectful obeisance unto you. Pankaja Ankaye. Unto you, the soles of whose feet, the soul, yeah, yeah, the soles of whose feet are engraved with lotus flowers, and who are therefore said to possess your lotus feet. Translation. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flower, whose glance is as cool as a lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. So, the purport. Queen Kunti offered the same prayer, which is found in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8, text 80, text 21. The synonyms and translation given here are taken from Srila Prabhupada's rendering of that text. We may also note that although Kunti's prayers occurs early in the Bhagavatam, she offered it many years later after the incident described here. So, is this originally spoken by Mother Bhumi? Maybe she could also got it from someone else. Good. Omajana, Tivandasya, Shansana, Snaka, Sakshamilitam Yena, Chitayano Vishwasta, Yena, Swamukadamen, Dadati Swapanantikam, Vandeham Shiyo Da Padakam, Shigum Vaishnavam Sham. Shirupam Jagajatam Saganam Natam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Salutam Bhajam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Hey Krishna Gona Sinodina Bandha Gopesha Goka Kanta Ganda Kanta Tapta Kanshna Gamangi Nade Vinashri Vishwa Sudade Panama Pankakalpavisha, Epasnivayavasha, Patanam Pavanabhyo, Vaishnavyo Namo. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadam Shiva Santika Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Nam Krishna 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 Hare Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharni Nirvishesha Srinavadi Paskachani Desatani Ilakovat Ki. So yesterday about the disappearance of Bamasur and text 22, I will read it again. Fallen on the ground, Bamasura's head shone brilliantly decorated as it was with earrings and an attractive helmet. As cries of "Alas, alas, and well done" arose, the sages and the principal demigods worshipped Lord Mukunda by showering him flower garlands. That so Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur says so. The sages said, yeah, oh, what a sinful person. He was disturbing the whole world. That it is good that you have killed him. So, and they covered Krishna with garlands. That here, Vishwanath Thakur. Jiva Goswami speaks about the head is describing as shining. He's saying the ornaments made it very shining. Now, in 23, Krishna receives a Vayanti garland. The goddess of the earth then approached Lord Krishna, presented him with Aditi's earrings, which were made of glowing gold inlet with shining jewels. She gave him also a Vajayanti flower garland, Varuna's umbrella, and the peak of Mandara mountain, the playground, that was the playground of the demigods, the peak. And Bhamasur stole it, the playground. But so Krishna receives a Vayanti flower garland, and the stolen property is returned by Bhumi. That so short commentaries of Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur. Bhumi returned everything stolen by her son, including the jewel mountain, or the playground was of jewels. Interesting. And Jiva Goswami speaks about the Vajayanti. The Vajayanti is a 5-colored garland, 5 colors, and a Vanamali garland made of leaves and flowers. Vanamali, Vana is forest, so there's garland, flowers, and Pushpa and Vana. And such a garland was extended to the feet, very long garland to the feet. She offered him the earrings along with the Vanamala and Vajayanti garland. That, yes. Then 24. O king, after bowing down to him and then standing with joined palms, the goddess, her mind filled with devotion, began to praise the Lord of the universe, whom the best of demigods worship. So Lord Krishna, was praised by Bhumi. That, and it seems that Bhumi is a great devotee. It's in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Mama Vijanti, only the devotee can know Krishna, because Krishna is only known by bhakti, and then when you have bhakti, you can go back to the spiritual world. Nice, that bhakti, that. And the commentaries here, especially Sanatana Goswami, he speaks about how she knows the glories of the Lord. Sanatana Goswami. After offering the stolen items, she, overwhelmed with devotion in her mind, in order to praise him, first offered respects and then folded her hands. All lowering her head and folding her hands, she began praising him, since he was the Lord of the universe, and thus worshipped by the best devatas, Brahma. She praised him with such words. This was because she was very dear to the Lord, or she was Devi, shining with bhakti. This indicates that she knew the glories of the Lord. O King, please understand the meaning of all the prayers. 25. Goddess Bhumi said, obeisance unto you, O chief, O Lord of the chief demigods, O beholder of the conch disc club, O supreme soul within the heart, you assume your various forms to fulfill the devotee's desires, to fulfill your devotee's desires. Obeisance unto you. So that was the desires of the demigods, who are also Krishna's devotees. And Indra went to Krishna to tell him about all the misdeeds of Vamasur. And then Krishna decided to go for shopping together with, in the heavenly planets, with Satyabhama. Because you may remember he needed Satyabhama to give permission to kill Vamasur. Because Krishna had promised to Bhumi not to kill her son without her permission. And Satyabhama is an expansion of Bhumi. And you remember just when Vamasur was going to offer his trident, Satyabhama said to Krishna, they were together on the chariot, and said to Krishna, kill him. And Krishna immediately killed him with his chakram. That, yes. And then we have 26. It's the same prayer as Queen Kunti. The same verse. That's very interesting. We have some verses which appear more than one time in the Bhagavatam. This is one of them. You have also two verses in Bhagavad Gita who are repeated twice. Who knows them? Manmada Bhagavad Bhakto, and the other one is the one where Krishna says one should do one's own duty and not the duty of others. Because anyway, that's mentioned twice, that in the 3rd chapter and in the 18th chapter, not near the end. That good, that the prayers of Queen Kunti, she prayed the same prayer. That and of course, in the prayer of Queen Kunti, they are very instructive. Vinkunti speaks about how she had to tolerate and the price one has to pay to get bhakti. And that the price to pay to be a devotee. And she gives us an insight in the consciousness of a pure devotee. That because only by pure devotional service can one enter into the mysteries of Krishna's understanding. So Krishna is compared to what here? Lotus flower, pankaja, pankaja. That so this pankaja, the pankaja means that which arises out of the mud. Interesting. The lotus stands out of the water, out of the water. And if you leave a drop of water on the lotus, it doesn't impregnate, it rolls down, plop in the water. It doesn't impregnate that. So Krishna appears to be in this world, but he's not from this world. That's interesting. That so we see that, and that's mentioned in the purport also of this verse, spoken by Queen Kunti, the same verse, that yes, Lord Brahma, he appeared from a lotus. Interesting. Growing from the abdomen of Kalpataksai Vishnu, a lotus. That we know Brahma is sitting on this lotus, and later he starts the creation. And it's described, whether in the second or the third canto, how this lotus flower breaks apart and forms all the planetary systems. So we are on this earth that is part of this lotus flower. That's interesting. That one of the petals of the lotus flower. that So Krishna's lotus feet are not from this world. He remains eternally in Vrindavan and never leaves Vrindavan. If he leaves Vrindavan, it is Vishnu expansions. And he never leaves Vrindavan. So it appears that Krishna is in the mud of the material world, but is transcendental to it. Pankaja. Born out of mud, but transcendental. But what's the difference? We are in the mud of the material world. That's the difference. So how can we see Krishna here? How can we see Krishna? So Prabhupada said, yes, the Krishna Shiv is here. The deity is here. So that Krishna is transcendental, but we are spirit souls, also Sitchananda. We are also supposed to be transcendental. So how do we become transcendental? We have to learn the art of the art of living in this world without being in this world. It's not a difficult, an easy task, living in this world without being in this world. that's or without being affected to this world. Yeah. So that's a pure devotee like Queen Kunti or here. We have the Bhumi. That even if they are in contact with the material world is not penetrating to their consciousness. That is, yeah. So we need. When I read this, I was thinking of India. Likely, when you go to India, it depends on well which season, but you may need mosquito repellent. That you also have used it in India sometimes. Someone, no? Okay. But we need Maya repellent. Maya repellent is a different one. It protects us against the influence of Maya. Maya repellent. What is this Maya repellent? Bhagavad Gita 259. Visaya vinivartante nirasyate naratsuvaram rasapyasa param drisva nivartate. Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains, but ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste once fixed in consciousness. So we need that higher taste, that higher taste. So Maya offers so many allurements, enjoying, eating, wealth, sex, pleasure, and so on. But nothing of this can compare to the pleasure of bhakti. That's the higher pleasure of bhakti. That's mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. In the introduction, Prabhupada speaks about bhakti ras, and now it's different from the material ras. That the material experience, the material enjoyment is bhoga, tyaga. Sometimes you have it, sometimes not. So the materialist goes to work, it's Monday, and Monday, yes, yeah, okay, we go. I wish it would already be Friday. Then Tuesday, the next day, okay, another day, let's go to it. Wednesday, halfway. Thursday, some hope comes. Tomorrow is Friday. And then Friday, they start to smile. And then the weekend comes. But it goes so quick, and suddenly it's again Monday again. So that's 5 days, yeah. And then a short period of boha, and then working again. So that's boha tyaga. And this material enjoyment is chapala sukhi. It's flickering. Few moments. You eat a pizza, 20 minutes happiness, and then a few hours later the hunger comes again, problem comes again. But we are after this higher pleasure. The living entity is Ananda Maya Vyasa, pleasure seeking by nature. But we are seeking it in the wrong place, in the wrong energy. That's the problem. Because this That is what King Radhadesh says to his 100 sons. That you should do tapodivya, austerities in devotional service, to attain a pleasure which never ends, which never ends. That is, and yeah, okay. That is also what Narada Muni says to Vyasadeva. Kaseva Payate Govinda Payate Gavanya Keshuka Kaliya Savana Kabira Ramasa. One should search for that happiness which is not available in this world, not from the lowest to the higher. Because that happiness in this world, it comes and goes according to your karma. It's predestined. You cannot change it. That it comes on its own accord. But you seek for that higher pleasure. That because the Srimad Bhagavatam is a commentary to the Brahma Sutras, Vedanta Sutras. Atata Brahma Jihna. Now you have received the human form of life. Now it's time to inquire about the absolute truth and get that high pleasure. That yes. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, the intelligent person organizes his life as such to get a taste for bhakti. We must get that taste for bhakti. By our very nature, we are Krishna conscious. But due to association with material nature, our Krishna consciousness has been covered. Bhukti Pragati Jan Gunam. Bhagavad Gita 15:8 or 59. Yeah. Anyway, it's by association with material nature. I think it's the 13th chapter. Anyway, by association with the material nature, that we have become entangled in this material world. We have become, our consciousness has been covered. But Krishna gives us the tools to uncover the hidden treasure within ourselves. For that, these tools, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. When I read this, that this how to get this higher taste, how to organize one's life 24 hours, that one always can think of Krishna, to get that higher taste. In 2007, I was traveling with Bhakti Vihyama Maharaj from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore, then from Baltimore to New Vrindavan. But in Baltimore was a devotee. This devotee is now in Mayapur. He took Vanaprastham. But when I was at it, we were a guest at his home. And he was just retired. He came to America in the 60s as an engineer, specific qualification he had. But he became in charge of a branch of a pharmaceutical company in Baltimore. That his wife was taking care of Radha Govinda, their beautiful deities, and she had a full schedule. She was doing 6 offerings a day or something, like in the temples. And dressing every day and bathing the deities. She was the whole day she was busy, no time, always busy. And he went to his work, and when he came at his work, he spoke with his secretary and instructed her 20 minutes what she had to do. He went into his office, closed the door, and he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam till noontime. At noontime, he went home to take prasad. When then he drove back to his work, spoke with his secretary 20 minutes, and instructed her what to do. He went into his office and he was reading the Bhagavatam until it was time to go home. And he told me, I did that the last 5 years like that. And I was paid a very high sum. So that is organizing one's life so that one can think of Krishna. I found that extraordinary. But finally, his reading of the Bhagavatam must have worked, because he's now taken Vanaprastha. He gave the house, everything to his wife. And he's in Mayapur already a few years. So organizing one's life, but what are the principles behind it? The basic principles how to do this. Krishna explains in 3:30. Mai sarvanikami sanyasyatya aseta nirasya nirmamo bhutva yutyasva yatashvara. Therefore, Arjuna, surrender all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims of proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. So, surrendering all your works unto me, Krishna says, with full knowledge of me. That full knowledge is very important. What's that full knowledge? What's that knowledge Krishna is speaking about? Krishna is the proprietor of everything, and therefore he is the enjoyer. Because everything belongs to Krishna and is for his enjoyment. So therefore, Krishna says further, without desires for profit, because the for profit is for Krishna. That's that knowledge behind. And everything belongs to Krishna, so Krishna says with no claims of proprietorship. Because that's a problem if we think of enjoying that. The enjoyment comes in this enjoyment, tendency comes in many ways. One wants honor and does not want to become dishonored. But honor or dishonor is all useless. So this is the essence, how to act as a spirit soul and not as the body. Otherwise, we act for the pleasure of the body, for the pleasure of the mind, for the senses. But now, acting for the pleasure of Krishna, out of love for Krishna. No material motivation. That's acting as a spirit soul. So, organizing one's life so that you have a taste for bhakti. I'm just sharing a few things of great souls who I've seen and experienced in my life. And of course, the first is, of course, Bhakti Charamaj, my spiritual master. I remember always in this 1996, the centennial year, we arrived in Mayapur in August. It was very hot. During that time, August, September, our Guru Maharaj organized a pilgrimage. We went to Calcutta, we went to Mayapur, so all the places, and then afterwards, Jagannath Puri, that Vrindavan was nice. That, but when we arrived in Navadvip Mayapur, then we went on Parikram, Navadvip Mandal Parikram. In the beginning of the Parikram, he said, now we have arrived in the spiritual world. Keep your consciousness on the transcendental platform. Don't come down again. Always chant Krishna's names and absorb in the pastimes. That don't come down again. So that is the point. That is the art we have to learn. And that, and then, of course, I traveled 10 years with Prahlad Anonymous, 2-3 years every year in the Balkan. And we went to many airports together. And as always, Maharaj, we would at the boarding gate, and he would take his computer, or his iPad was a computer at that time. And he started a database and he started reading, and he didn't see anything until the boarding. And then we were on the airplane. He would put his earphones and hear Prabhupada. He was constantly hearing Prabhupada. So that's planning. That is determination. I will only hear about Krishna. That's, yeah. And then, of course, association of devotees is the key, really, to get that taste. That taste. Association is very important. It's said in the Bhagavatam. Dansya Bhasti Kata, which is Yama Sevyam. One should hear the Bhagavatam with care and attention and should serve the Mahatma, the great souls, the pure devotees. And these two together combined produces taste for hearing about Krishna. Taste. I call this verse the taste giving verse of the Bhagavatam. How to get the taste. And that's confirmed by many other verses. Yeah? We sing every time before the Bhagavatam, Nasvesa Bhagavata Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavata Tamasvate Bhakti Nastiki. By attending daily the class on the Bhagavatam, and it's not an option, and rendering service to the pure devotee. How do we serve Prabhupada? By pleasing Prabhupada, by following his instructions, by participating in the book marathon, one way or another, that by doing service that pleases the spiritual master, whatever service. But service must be there, not only reading. And sometimes the devotees say, I'm practicing for 20 years and I still have no taste. But are they doing these two things? You will see they don't. You will see they don't. You must make that combination. Prabhupada gave us a morning class. We have to hear Bhagavatam and discuss it together. So important is that combination that in the purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks of this verse, the 1 to 18, not Bhagavatam. There are two kinds of Bhagavatas, the book Bhagavat, and the person Bhagavat. And one must learn the book Bhagavat from the person Bhagavat. Association is the key. And the Bhagavatam is full of demonstration of that. And it starts with the previous life of Narada Muni, that he met the Bhaktivedantas and served them during the Saturmasya. And King Prachina Barisat, he had association with Narada Muni. The Prachetas had association with Lord Shiva. And so on. Now, of course, Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj with Narada Muni, so many, it's without end. That, because in the 11th canto, Krishna concludes how to attain Vraj Prema. That's interesting. In the Uddhava Gita, Krishna first speaks about symptoms of conditioned souls, not symptoms of liberated souls. And then he speaks about the process of liberation. And the conclusion is bhakti. But then in the next chapter, Krishna says the highest bhakti is Vraja Bhakti. How to get this Vraja Bhakti? And Krishna explains one can have this Vraja Bhakti by association with pure devotees who have this Bhakti. So yes, that's if you, especially when you live with advanced devotees, you become affected by them. I was in Ujjain a few months ago for the Srila Prabhupada Memorial Festival. Shuta Kirti was there. And he spoke how we learned from Srila Prabhupada and how Srila Prabhupada chastised him. And it's revealing that that's chastised by pure devotee, you never forget it. That because in 96 of this Vrajamangal Parikram, at a certain moment we came at a big tree with big leaves. I forgot the name of the tree, but underneath Charnadas Babaji was chanting. It was August, and there was in Mayapur at that time a heat wave. It's already warm in Mayapur, but with a heat wave extra. When you were walking on the road, the asphalt was so hot you could not put your feet on it. It was so hot. So and we came there, and at this tree there was a small temple, and all the devotees were there, but I couldn't fit in. It was too much devotees. And I was sitting at the side in the shade because it was too hot just to walk on the sand. My Guru started to give a lecture, and he saw me at the side and said, "Bhakta, come here." And I had to sit before him. So all the devotees made place, and I sat down before him. And the first thing he said to me is, "Don't sit with your back to the deities." Just like me severely. I never sat after that with my back to the deities or to Prabhupada. I learned that, and you give up offenses like that. That's the mercy of a pure devotee. But of course, organizing one's life, that one sees Krishna everywhere. Prabhupada speaks about that, and in a lecture. Well, it is in the teachings of Queen Kunti. There also this verse is described, and there he makes a request to all the drunkards. Yeah, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I'm the taste of water. So he is requesting the drunkards to remember that even in the alcohol, the water, when they drink it, to remember Krishna. And he says, by this process of thinking of Krishna, even a drunkard will become a saintly person. That's quite an point. But learning to see Krishna. Krishna in the 10th gives us Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter, because Krishna is asking, Arjuna is asking Krishna, how can I see you in this world? And Krishna gives a list of 80, more than 80 vibhutis, opulences, how we can be seen in this world. So that's all for us to see Krishna in this world. And it's a process of seeing Krishna in this world, and in the next step, you understand. Yeah, I'm not really the doer in this world. There are 5 factors of action, Krishna says. So I'm only one of the 5 factors. The soul who does by desiring. And then suddenly, as your consciousness raises, you start to see, yes, I'm here together with a co-pilot. I'm not the only one who does things. I desire to move my hands, but it moves. Do I know how it goes? No, it goes, but what does it? Yeah, that's a simple soul. So we are not alone in our doing, and then you start to see that. You see that in yourself, but also in others. And Brahma says that also. I'm creating, but I really don't know how I'm doing it. But it happens. It happens. So it's gradually we start to see Krishna, and then the Uttama Vikas sees only Krishna. Anyway, that's what I could say on this verse. Any comments, corrections?
They were mentioning that the lotus flower is falling apart. Yeah, it's also part of it. Then the question of where it's going to stay, of course, to go is in the lotus.
I think it must be a significant part of it, but what part? But I don't know. But all the planets are part of that. The scientist speaks about Big Bang, but that's this lotus flower. That's but yeah.
And when you mention Krishna is involved, but he's not involved, I was thinking of myself so that one thing distracts me very much to do, which is taking involved. In the end, it's in Kaka. But if you tell anyone to take a problem, maybe people would have a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
An artist sometimes coming from situations which are visible, but when you give examples, a lake, which looks very peaceful, and then suddenly a bubble touches the bottom of the lake, it smells so bad. And then it was mentioned that it was the most the smell at the bottom of the lake is very, very bad. So I was thinking this is where the odors is coming from. It's actually like, I'm not sure when actually from the dirty place it comes actually.
Yeah, yeah. That's and the example is there that well, a reporter asked you about one. Yeah, Swami, what miracle did you do? Did you do? And he pointed to his disciples. Before they were hippies, now they are happies. That's yeah, a miracle. A miracle. And we are all part of that miracle. Thank you.
So I have a more philosophical question. Well, not specifically devotees, people in general are performing bad actions. Is it also with the sentence of the Lord?
And that, well, they are performing bad actions because they desire it. And Krishna is Anumanta. And Prabhupada explains that in many purports. So by doing these bad actions, they are going to hell, but they desire it. And Krishna facilitates them going to hell. That's true. But finally, that's for their rectification, because they will be punished and hopefully one time they will come to their senses. But yes, it's true. Good. Thank you very much. Chandra Sriman Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,